We have 4 How to Train Your Dragon films, so today I thought it was time for me to stop and rank all 4 How to Train Your Dragon movies. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter and that TikTok below, and also that How to Train Your Dragon review. That link is in the description. My name is SW Nation, and you are free to comment down below your very own ranking of all 4 How to Train Your Dragons, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. My list is certainly not the right list, it is just my list, and you are free to comment down below yours. With all that being said, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into our ranking. In 4th place, we have the live action remake, an actual great live action adaptation that is as faithful as they come. I found this to be a pretty good cover band film where the original film is great and the cover song does a great job adapting it. Seeing the film in IMAX really allowed for the dragon flight scenes to have this huge scale to them, almost as if I was riding along with Hiccup, and it's a feeling that I'm pretty sure a lot of people who saw it in theaters back in 2010 felt. Speaking of Hiccup, I think everyone does a great job, albeit they take a little while to fully own their characters, but when they do, it's gold. Like Gerald Butler as Stoic, awesome casting, and like I said, the actor for Hiccup, I think he does a pretty good job by the end. Inherently, How to Train Your Dragon lends itself well to live action due to the epic grandness of the story and also the action scenes. So this remake recaptures all of the magic, beating Disney at its own game. Number 3, the final chapter in the trilogy, The Hidden World. What a satisfying and beautifully crafted conclusion to this trilogy. Up to this point, we've seen these characters grow and change, but from the humans and Hiccup's perspective. I love the fact that we get more of an arc for Toothless here. I think the discovery of the Light Fury provides a good enough excuse for Toothless to leave Hiccup. The villain is probably the best in the trilogy, where he's this dragon hunter that's always one step ahead of our protagonist, but also he's pretty fun here because he's just doing all of this for the love of the hunt. He just loves the game of hunting dragons, and I think, you know what, you can have a lot of fun with a villain like that who's not all the way serious, but you kind of feel terrified when he's left alone with your dragons. I think a reason why it's down this low is because for the most part it's kind of filler. Most of the film is Hiccup and the gang going back and forth trying to catch Grimmel, but never actually succeeding. And for the most part, it's not really a through-line plot. It's just a bunch of things that happen until the emotional ending. Still pretty cohesive though, and if The Hidden World is the worst film of your trilogy, then you're doing a pretty great job. My runner-up at number 2 is How to Train Your Dragon 2. With a darker tone, this film does everything a sequel should do, expanding the world, better arcs for our characters, and more of this iconic friendship. This film boasts just how inseparable Toothless and Hiccup are as they need each other. Their dynamic is just the cutest to be seen, but they never truly commit to whether or not they want Toothless to be a ferocious dragon or a dog, even though in the first movie he had a lot of characteristics as a cat. In these later films, he feels more of like a puppy than anything else. Side note, have you guys ever watched this movie and just seen the background antics that Toothless gets into? I mean, it's actually the cutest thing ever. Like, when you watch the movie and you just don't pay attention to Hiccup or Stoic at all, and you're just looking at Toothless in the background, he's just doing the most wildest things ever. It's just so much fun because you get so much personality out of this thing that's not real in animation form. This film also has gorgeous visuals, I think the best of the franchise, and the best action scenes of the franchise as well. It has some more emotions with the heavy weight of Stoic dying by the hands of Toothless and you know, Toothless being mind controlled to do it, and just overall this film just has a dark blanket over it, but it has more emotion, it has a darker villain, and the stakes are huge. I feel this film, with all of its highs, just goes a little bit too dark, losing a little bit of the magic and the charm that made the first film so special. But coming in at my number 1 has got to go to How to Train Your Dragon, a DreamWorks classic. I battled all the time between this and 2. I think my last How to Train Your Dragon ranking, that link is in the description, I put 2 at number 1. This year, I'm putting 1 at number 1. You know, as a kid, I grew up, of course, around How to Train Your Dragon. I dressed up as the Deadly Natter for Halloween, but I never was a How to Train Your Dragon fan, and until a couple of years ago, I thought this franchise was the black sheep of DreamWorks, until I found out that it's actually the golden boy of DreamWorks. It's probably their best franchise yet. Probably behind Kung Fu Panda for me. I just love those movies too much. So as a 20-year-old, for me, this film dazzles in gorgeous flying scenes and a story. A father and son story at its core, and a story about a boy and his dragon. And all of them feel more dramatic than you would actually think. I love the conflict between Hiccup and his father, Stoic, two people who love each other very much, but they just can't relate. There's a barrier between them, and as me being a son, I can understand that completely. Also, with Hiccup meeting Toothless and finding friendship in just this pet dragon, it's something that we can all resonate towards, because when we first got our pets, we found friendship in them. While you're watching the film, we, the audience, relate more to Hiccup because the more he learns about dragons, the more we do. Lastly, I have to talk about how grand the score is. It's gravitating, making you feel like you're actually flying, and all the emotions. If anything, the reason why the live action recaptures the magic so much for me is because they kept that same score. The music makes the scene, the music makes the environment, the music makes the atmosphere. And when you're watching Hiccup and Toothless do their first flight, it's awe-inspiring. Just like how it was in the live-action film, it was even more awe-inspiring back then. This is why How to Train Your Dragon has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that is it for the ranking. Please know that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion, and you're free to comment down below your very own ranking of all 4 How to Train Your Dragon films, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me. Or you could just do your favorite. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter and that TikTok link. Those are in the description, along with that TikTok. All of my shorts, original videos go over there first, and then they come over here to the YouTube channel. All that being said, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace.